Hello, I'm Artifacts of Mars, and this is Disclosure, Spirit Soul 519 Part 5. Okay, we're finally going to get to the models that I created. This board was 2 months in the making, approximately. It took an awful lot of work. You can't just sit down and glance at the photo and decide what's in it. You have to study and study and study. Alright. We're going to start with one object that I called a drain pipe earlier. Follow the cursor. I got on that. This is my artist's rendition of the drain pipe. The actual one in the photo is darker, and it's curved a little bit at the end. Here is the square one that's beside it. That's actually a little bit too big, taking into account the one that's in the photo. But still, it's a good representation. Once again, here's that half moon object, strange one. I didn't do anything fancy for it. I just wanted that in the picture because it does belong. I didn't try to make a 3D model for it. Maybe someday I will. It's a toughie. I believe it's some sort of a plant leaf. I really didn't do much for it. Alright. 3 pipes. This one was really impressive in the picture. Especially the 2 lighter pipes. Those were flat out obvious. They are pipes, and the third one's a little bit darker, a little harder to see. But the fact that we're seeing perfectly round objects in the photos, and they're hollow, is proof that there was an alien civilization or colonies or something on Mars. People have been there before. There's no question. Whether they're 3-toed, green-skinned aliens or whether they're humans. Somebody's been there before. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the rest of the objects in my design board. It took months to create this, and it'll take 10 minutes to go over it. Here's a rock with a 1 pipe that seems to be embedded in it. I don't really understand that object. I'm considering whether it's even a pipe in that case, but also it seems to be just a plain old rock. And I have a hard time reconciling the two. But it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. I just threw that in there for an extra. And we're going to move over. Maybe zoom out a little bit. Here we have the 1 pipe beside the big cylindrical object. This pipe is kind of flattened a little bit. I tried to make the model so it was flattened. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Yes, it's flattened a little bit. I didn't flatten it too much, but the simple fact of the matter is it wasn't completely round. Here's a cylindrical object that this post, or whatever it is, sticks into. Then it goes up and there appears to be vegetation on top. That's speculative. I can't really say for 100% certain. But there does appear to be vegetation on top. Then here's a small pipe that comes off those 2. And it's clearly visible in the photo. So that's another pipe. I can adjust the camera angles. Here's another post or pipe or whatever it is that goes up. And we have this kind of roof-shaped deal here. And I showed the cylindrical object that's underneath it. And yet another pipe that comes out of it. So there's another pipe. It's just crazy how many there were. This is the object I talked about with the three little pipes inside it, or cables, or whatever they are. It's not really a good representation. I just threw that together while I was attending class. It's interesting nonetheless that that much details in a picture and it just gets flat out ignored. Moving along, I'm going to now take a look at the big object up top. This is one they call the sign object. There's two legs. There's actually more of that leg, the top leg there, than meets the eye. But I'm unable to determine the actual shape, so I just left it the way it was. Here's that little platform I talked about that has a pipe that apparently goes into the side there. And that's a very strange deal in and of itself. I don't fully understand what we're seeing there, other than this is like a little platform, a little dish, something of that nature. And then to the right, we have this pipe that sticks out. This actually has some material on top of it in the photo. I just left it more or less bare. Then, here we have the other cylindrical object, which I mentioned. It's in between the two legs of the sign. That seems to be fitted right into this spherical object here that has on the side a triangular area. Doesn't show up very well. I should have used a different texture for contrast. And it has two more pipes sticking out of it. That's, again, a little bit speculative there. I can't be 100% certain that they are pipes like I am with this one, and this one, and this one. So, okay, we don't have much left to do on the model. You know, I took my time on the photo, and we're just going to finish up with the model. Here's that area that seems to plug into the sign. And all I'm showing is a straight cable or pipe into this almost 3/4 moon type deal up here. I've actually looked at it, and this thing's actually sitting on a platform. It looks metallic. And this is going to wrap it for this edition of Spirit Soul 519. I've studied this photo for months. And of course, I'll get the usual smart aleck debunkers to say it's a rock. No, it isn't. We have pipes. We have other strange objects. And there are plenty of plants in the photo. I showed just a few. What we need to do is pressure NASA and pressure our government to tell us the truth and to explain exactly what it is they found. I'm Artifacts of Mars. Good night.